So I wanted to show you real quick, just in reality, how fast this thing's going up this hill. This is now going 12 miles an hour. It's going to probably take about a minute and a half to get up there. So I'll let you sit back and listen to it. So according to the workshop page that this thing has, this is a real locomotive. It was real at some point. Now, it's, to be honest, you add a front truck and a rear truck, put a cab on it, and it's basically a consolidation. It's got a weird piston setup, but otherwise it's a consolidation. Right now it's a 080 or a 080, and it's funky. It's just weird. Currently doing a whole 13 miles an hour up this grade. There's a perfect mixture you have to get between the slowness of the train with the more cars you have, but you carry more. Or you can go faster with less cars. So you have to find that perfect area where you get the maximum amount of money possible from the train. Earlier, I think I was going too fast and didn't have enough cars on. Now I think I've got too many cars on and it's not going to go fast enough. Because yes, it's making $274,000 every time it drops off, and its running costs are just shy of $500,000. So as long as it delivers twice a year, you're fine. Problem is, I think right now it's going so slow that it won't even deliver twice a year. Or at this point, twice a paying period, or I don't know what you would call it at this point. It's a bit, I don't know. It's a bit odd trying to describe it because it's not a month anymore. It's a period of time, but it's not like it's a set period of time, but it's not a set period of time. So it's not like the 8th of June to the 9th of, or to the, yeah, the 8th of June to the 8th of July. It's like the 9th of or the 8th of June to the 19th of June to the 31st of June to July, like 10th. It's weird. I guess you can calculate how many days and go, well, it's doing its job, but I don't know. Following all the way down. Obviously, it's going to do 20 miles an hour on the way down, because as I explained earlier, it's got a maximum speed of 20 miles an hour for the locomotive, so it's only going to do 20. Now, what I'm wondering is the other locomotive an express locomotive. Okay, so it is. So you gain an extra 2 miles an hour at a loss of about 500 pounds of tractive effort and about, what, 7 horsepower? Yeah. So theoretically, because of the lower horsepower, it would climb a little less, but it would save me almost $8,000 a year if I drop both of these locomotives, put these on it, and it can go faster, so it'll bring more money. this one actually making money now. It's trying. This year so far, yeah, it's making money, but still gonna be shy of its overall running costs. We can't get down that hill fast enough. See, and a little less horsepower allows the oil up here to build up a tiny bit longer. Like what, a second or two longer? So it'll carry more over time too. Or over time it'll carry the same, but it'll carry it fast. Well, no, I guess it means it'll carry more over time. It'll carry slightly more over less time. I don't know. I'm too stupid to figure out stuff like that. Oh, another fun thing to do in this game is find a flock of birds or whatever, and then stick to them. Or even better, go into first-person cam with them. You can fly around acting like a flock of birds, looking down at all the peasants. I don't own railway companies. That may or may not go bankrupt within the next 10 years anyway, so it doesn't really matter. The birds aren't the only animals. If we come over here to the river, we should find some schools of fish. So we got salmon. Obviously, because they're below the water line, you can't really do much with them. Now, if I stays rendered in, I think I saw, yep, a bear. There we go. Yeah, and the game does funny things. It says, like, didn't see anything, or there's nothing here. Only every once in a while will it give you the correct label for everything. Oh, unless you click on it. Then it gives you the correct label. But yeah, you can walk around as a bear if you wanted. It's also deer. I'm not sure what else there else. I haven't really ran into anything else. There might be like some sort of mountain animal that's really hard to see. I am honestly unsure. But back to my network and see if it's making me any money. So far, yes. Is it enough to keep me from going bankrupt? Don't know. See, and I'm paying a lot of money. Yeah, see, I'm paying $83 a month, so that's what? Almost $1,000 a year in that? That could be the difference between me making money and losing money. Just the sad thing. So, because the top speed of this train has now been increased, it's going to make slightly more for the amount that it carries. Because now it's going down the grade faster than the other one was. Granted, it's only 2 miles an hour faster, but it's still faster. The game is still going to calculate it to be slightly faster. So, that's good. I think the top speed of these tanker cars are actually like 40 miles an hour, so we're not going to hit the limit of these cars for quite a while. So as long as one of the trains starts breaking even, and the other one gets more money, or does, you know, better than breaking even, as long as the trucks are breaking even, we're good. Oh, I call them trucks. The game considers them trucks, even though early in the game like this, it's horse-drawn carriage. Yeah, just makes slightly more than its expenses, which is fine. This thing's still figuring out its life too. Some years it makes a lot of money compared to its overall running costs. There's other years it don't. Yeah, see, it plays that ambient railroad crossing noise, which is really weird. Once I get the money, I'll build another one of these, and I can make even more money. Another thing I could do, probably, once I get above a certain amount, is build a truck route between these two. It won't make too much money, but it'll make some money. And some money's better than none. That'll lose money for the first probably 2 years. So it's not really worth putting one down, or putting it down yet. Otherwise I'd go and spend the loan and just do it, but it's not worth it. So this train will make 16 grand this year. This one may or may not break even. It's all dependent on that train. And how fast this one can go. Seems like every time it goes, it's carrying less and less. There's a 101 conversion? Yeah. Once I get down to like negative 100,000 or something, I'm gonna add another car to this refinery train. Maybe I'll add another car to this one. I don't know. The problem is we can't ship it much more than we are already using this train, because it'll get too slow. Now we could use trucks. Use trucks to supplement the train, since it's really not that big of a distance. Could do that, yeah. And there's enough up there to do it. There's enough demand down here where this will upgrade to the second level and cause this to upgrade once we do the trucks. The trucks will actually make money. Now this is making money. The trucks will make money. And it'll cover the running costs of this thing, which is only losing like $5,000-6,000 a year anyway. Then, on top of that, it means increased levels of stuff on this anyway, so it'll make more money. So over time, we're just losing more and more money, and I don't like it. So the further out we put it, the less far they've got to go. Saves me $2 grand. I can buy like 10 of these trucks. I'll buy 8. And hopefully this line makes money. New line. This will be crude oil supply 1 road. So I know it's still connecting just the crude oil supply number 1, but it's the road connection instead of the instead of the train connection. So I'll just sit around and wait for this to make money. I'm just hoping the game recognizes what I'm trying to do here. It doesn't go, well, all the supply is being used by one thing, so why should I supply both of them? And I'll just scream that's not the point, and we'll just scream at each other. Will you start building up? It's a truck depot, or a truck station. Truck drop off. This is in range of this. Range of that. Is the game just unwilling to do that? Well, that's stupid. I've never tried anything like this before, so I thought I'd try it now. Apparently it don't work. This is in, because it highlights this, this is in range of this. It doesn't want to stop pouring it into this. Which is stupid, because it would make more money and more sense to just use both routes. Use the freight vehicles, right? Yeah. I tried, I guess. That's all I can really say. I want to see if I can kickstart it to work. I don't think I will be able to, so I put the other trucks on the fuel line so I can get some of this stuff processed through, and I can get the this thing maybe running. Problem is this train's going to be limited by this train, and so on and so forth. I could cut the second locomotive out. It wouldn't lose as much money, but any chances of it making any money would also be out the door. So I don't really want to do that. Really wish there was a way to get more trains on this track. But I've maxed out my loan pretty much, I think. Yeah, it's 10 million. I've maxed out my loan and I'm still losing money every year. So this save might be borked. Not sure yet. That's the other thing, is once it starts playing a sound, even if you zoom out, nah, it's gonna play it all the way through. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna cut the second locomotive off of this one. It'll be poor, but I'll make some money off of it. It'll still go down really quickly, but the running costs will be lower. So well, so hopefully it makes, I don't know, some money. Any money. Something. Hopefully it does something. This thing making 16 grand and dropping every few seconds isn't really doing much. Roads, yeah, I started losing just an ass load of money. I just said a bad word, so I'll probably bleep it if I'll remember to. There's not much else to say. I mean, I don't even know if this save is continuable now because of how I've worked it, but I'm gonna try. See, now this train's gonna be full every time. And it's got one less locomotive, but it takes longer to get up here. So I really don't know what the benefit is. Better to run like this, or better to run like the other. currently weighs 200 tons. Let's see how much weight it drops when it drops off the oil. Probably quite a bit of that. Yeah, it's almost half the weight of us. I'm not sure what we're gonna do here. That's now making $89,000 a year so far. If that's the case, then we should start making money every year. I'm hoping that's the case, so I start making money every year. This still isn't pulling anything out, which is just weird. This is still gaining. This is now making $8 grand a year, which is good. I like when it makes money. See, once you have it in the slowed down mode, the trains, instead of going by years, well, okay, it just made me a liar. It goes by like a weird rendition of a years. It does some weird calculations. Like, let's say we're doing 1/4 speed, and the train's lifetime is 30 years. That means like the actual lifetime now, the speed is slowed down, is like 9 years or 8 years, something like that. It's 1/4 of whatever it was. And I'll probably talk about this more in the American Truck Simulator video I'll be doing here soon. But the new truck was released for American Truck Simulator. MP, Truckers MP, updated pretty quickly, which was nice. It usually doesn't happen. Are we losing more money now that... Yeah, that's what I thought was going to happen. It's making more money, but it's also taking longer to get there. Yeah, I don't know if we're going to be able to pull out of this now. At least the trains are full every time now. If I was smart when I started, I would have bought 2 of these trains. Made this have a double track passing track. And then, you know, allowed it to go by, but I didn't, so. This thing's crawling up the grade at 6 miles an hour. 5. Watch it hit 4. Nope, it goes back up to 6 and starts climbing again. Again, the train will be full. Question is how much money does the line say it's making? Yeah, negative 91,000. Once you speed down, once you slow down time to nothing, over here in the corner, it turns the years into hours, which is really strange, because then your trains are counted by how many hours in game they've been running. Or no, they count by real life hours. But if you've got it sped up, obviously it's going to be sped up. Which is weird, because you'll speed it up to, or you'll speed time up to like 1/4 or 1/2 or even 1-on-1, and all of a sudden your train is like 400 years old, and you're like, what in the world? And you realize that you put that train into service like 3 days ago. It's really funny to watch, and I'm sure will happen some point in the series if it continues from this point. If not, then I will probably upload this just so I can say I showed that I failed, and then I'm going to try harder next time. Because so far, this ain't working too well. This one, if it can deliver in time for the end of the year. I was going to say, if it can deliver in time for the end of the year, it wouldn't lose as much money, but mostly because it takes a literal ass load of time to get up there. Now the later trains will help this because I won't lose speed as bad. So you got medium or easy. This would make you a boatload of money, these lines. But since I did this on hard, I'm barely breaking even at some points. This is the other problem, is this hits this grade and immediately dies. Now if I had the money, I'd relay the track so it could be lighter, so it wasn't just vertically climbing. But I don't have the money. It's vertically climbing. It's kind of like a Rio Grande Southern moment. It's like, well, it's costing us too much, but we don't have the money to fix it to make it not cost us an arm and a leg, so we are immediately screwed from the get-go. Yeah, if I sped it up real quickly right now, we could get to like 1900 in a couple minutes, and we would have access to like another $20 million worth of loans. Because a loan limit raises at 1950, 1900, and then I think those are the only 2 points. It goes from 10 million limit to 30 million limit to 100 million limit, which is good because then, you know, in 1950, the average train costs $50–60 million. So, you know, your loan's only going to buy you a train. In the 1900, it's a little better because you can buy most trains for 2 or 3. I think it's more like 10 million. So you're still only getting somewhere between like 5 and 10 million. So you're gonna get like 2 to 4 trains, depending on the size of them. These, if I were to replace these in 1900, it'd be replaced with Atlantics, of all things, because of their higher horsepower rating. It doesn't really take tractive effort into consideration. For some reason, it mostly does horsepower. So the more horsepower you get, the more more speed you have to go up the grades. I guess kind of makes sense. The tractive effort should also matter, and it really doesn't. And the funny thing is, the tractive effort really doesn't. Because with the higher horsepower, the game calculates was like, oh, okay, this thing has 90 horsepower, so we'll make your running costs 50 grand a year. So at that's right. So let's say your train has 90 horsepower and it's got $50,000 worth of running costs. Well, if you increase that horsepower to 120 horsepower, it's all of a sudden going to jump to $62,500 per year to run, because it calculates the running costs off of the specs of the engine, and it doesn't do it for inflation or anything else. It literally just the cost of the locomotive. So this locomotive per horsepower will cost the same as the brand new Excella Liberty that they put into service over on the northeastern corridor as of this year or next year or whenever they're putting it in. Which is kind of stupid also, but whatever. I'll get rid of that so it doesn't deafen you, and so you can probably hear me a little better, because I know you probably can't hear me that well because I'm mumbling because it's the middle of the night and I'm tired. Probably shouldn't be recording videos, I should be going to bed, but that's okay. I'm allowed to do stupid things apparently. So I've been going at this for about an hour now. It doesn't look like I'm gonna be able to pull myself out of debt here. So I might just call it quits, upload this, and go, hey, well, I tried. I'll probably tell you this, like, I tried and I failed. Transport Fever 2. But yeah, so I'm currently losing money at a ridiculous rate, and it doesn't look like anything's gonna be able to save me. This is making 16,000. This is, these are making me, no, these are making me almost 10,000 a year. But these two and this are losing me so much money that I'm losing. So I'm just gonna send these two, which have no path now, to both to go to the Wichita East. I'm gonna delete this building. Let's see if that gets me a little money. So both of those were costing me what? 4,000 a year? Yeah, 4,000 a year plus the buildings plus everything else. So yeah, that's what these road costs are. The infrastructure, the maintenance, yeah. Yeah, maintenance of infrastructure. I'm actually making 82,000, but because I was paying almost $15,000 in infrastructure. Jesus. Okay. Well, not pronouncing that one anyway. Anyway, point being is the buildings and roads and stuff. Those all cost you money. That's why I haven't built any roads. I could make more money if I just built a direct path from there to there, but then the game would charge you for over time for that amount of road that you built. $1.1 million in debt. Fantastic. But this is making $11,000 a year. So yeah, we're getting close to an hour, so I'll probably just call it quits here and say, hey, well, I tried, I failed. I guess in my new channel trailer it does say that I was gonna fail at Transport Fever, so. At least I'm not lying. Anyways, y'all, thanks for watching, and I will see you next time.